I want to write an op-ed for a media website. Okay. And I'm reading you what I might send in. Okay. That's what this
Okay.
is. Ready?
Okay. Can you wait a minute?
What?
Wait a minute. Can you also send this? What like I can hear you, but if I can read along at the same time, that'd be better for me. Can you do that, or is it something you have to dictate?
It's
Like, can you
something
copy paste?
I'll copy paste it when I finish reading it to you. Okay.
All right, fine, sure.
Okay. My title is Let Me Make This Perfectly Clear. I will never vote for Donald Trump. Okay.
Okay.
As you're now aware, Donald Trump is leading in polls across some of the swing states, and the future of the election looks precarious. There are two brief thoughts on where we go from here. One, many people have asked me what I'll do if, as is incredibly likely at this point, Trump tragically wins the election. Will I? I can't do this. Never mind.
No, do it.
No,
What's
I
up?
didn't. I didn't proofread this enough. My bad. Never mind. Okay, this isn't. I'm just gonna read this. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. Two brief thoughts on where we go from here. Many people have asked me what I'll do if, as is incredibly likely at this point, Trump tragically wins the nomination. Will I coalesce around the nominee and support my party? They wonder. This is an op-ed from somebody else. Okay. The answer is no. Also, hell no. Also, how dare you even ask me that? I have spent months calling Trump what he is: a con man, a tyrant, a pathological liar, a flamboyant despot, a fraudster, a big government liberal, progressive in a very poorly fitting and unconvincing conservative costume, a Planned Parenthood apologist, an unrepentant philanderer, a crook, a creep, a fascist with a spray tan, a reality TV Mussolini, a Caligula with a bad haircut, etc. How could I possibly vote for a guy who I've just described this way? How could I possibly unite around this man when I've spent months correctly observing the fact that he's a scam artist who lies about everything, including his opposition to illegal immigration? It would be nonsensical. It would negate everything I've said about him and make me as big a fraud as Trump himself. So let me make this clear. I will never vote for Donald Trump, not even if he's running against Hillary Clinton, not even if he pays me $1 million, not even if he puts a gun to my head. I wouldn't expect that to happen until he runs for re-election. I will never vote for Donald Trump. Let the whole country go to the polls and say yes to tyranny. I will take no part in it. I wash my hands of it. I disavow it. I will not be a willing participant in the decay of our republic. Remember, there are no reluctant votes or hesitant votes or compromising votes or votes with asterisks next to them. There are only votes. And if you vote for an authoritarian megalomaniac, your vote is an affirmative and your vote is as affirmative and enthusiastic as everyone else's. You might as well put on one of those dumb red hats and weep tears of joy while you enter the ballot box like all of the other Trumplings, because your vote counts just the same as theirs. I have found no reason to believe that Trump will be better than Hillary Clinton. They are practically the same, which is why they've been such close friends for so long. They are both reflexive liars. They are both clinical narcissists. They are both power-hungry lunatics. They are both ruthless pragmatists who care only about increasing their own authority, not advancing any idea or ideology. They both adopt the ideology that suits them for the moment, and they drop it just as quickly. In the general election, Hillary will run a little right, now that she's not competing against Karl Marx, and Trump will run even further left, and in the White House, they will govern almost exactly the same. Though there are those who think that Trump will, at the very least, nominate conservative justices, but I can't fathom how they've come to that conclusion. Trump will nominate whatever judge can be approved, as will Hillary. Again, neither of them give the slightest crap about conservatism or liberalism. They just want to rule. That's all. The end. Besides, Trump is campaigning as a liberal in a Republican primary. Do you really think he's going to fight to put Antonin Scalia 2.0 on the court? Please. This is the guy who can't stop himself from praising Planned Parenthood. He did it again yesterday, entirely unprompted. He's not a conservative constitutionalist, and he's hardly pretending to be one. If he won't pretend in a GOP primary while trying to win votes in the evangelical South, do you really think he'll pretend when he's sitting in the Oval Office having won the presidency by praising abortionists and calling for universal health care? Stop it. Don't be silly. In any event, even if Trump somehow accidentally nominated an acceptable Supreme Court justice, that wouldn't be enough to override the fact that he's an oppressive dictator intoxicated by the smell of his own fumes. President Barack Obama has expanded executive powers beyond the worst and most feverish nightmares of our founding fathers. Trump or Clinton will complete the process and turn the president into something most closely resembling an Egyptian pharaoh. Trump has already promised to unilaterally censor the press. Will the Supreme Court even matter when King Tut is in charge? I will never vote for Donald Trump. I'll never vote, or I'll vote third party, or I won't vote at all, or I'll move my family to the rainforest and will subsist on grubs and wild berries for the rest of our days. Any of these options would be preferable to voting for Trump. I will never vote for Trump, period. There's a bit more to this, but like, does this sound,
Powerful.
what? Do you know who wrote this?
Powerful. I'm gonna guess Ted Cruz or Lindsey Graham or somebody who ended up voting for Trump anyway.
Matt Walsh.
What?
Matt Walsh. I'll send you the article. I only read about half of it. Bro, what the
Oh no.
Posted on The Blaze back when Glenn Beck was more anti-Trump.
It's Matt Walsh versus Matt Walsh, huh?
It's insane, dude, how much these people are just...
They don't care. They so don't, and they're not beholden to this. It's amazing. Honestly, if we had a liberal / progressive media ecosystem comparable to what's on the right, Walsh would be inundated in this. Like, this would be common knowledge. And as somebody who is in this space, I had no clue he wrote it. He wrote this. Did you like find this, or did someone bring this to your attention?
I think it Forethought. I don't think it was Forethought. It might have been somebody else. I don't remember who sent it to me. Now I feel bad because they're gonna get mad, but somebody sent it to me. Yeah.
And it's archived. I assume, did they take it down or something?
I archived it because when I went to look for it, it didn't exist anymore. Yeah. Or I searched for the archive and it was here. Yeah. Because it was obviously deleted, but.
Yeah, it's amazing. Again, their shamelessness is their superpower. You know, we talked about this. They have so many institutional advantages that enable Republicans to punch above their weight class anyway. The Electoral College and gerrymandering and separation of powers, 30 out of 50 state legislatures, a vast disparity in mainstream and alternate media. And then the other thing is they're just not beholden to things that they said, be it 8 years ago or 8 days ago. It just doesn't matter. And I think it takes something that's already inherently difficult for us and makes it almost impossible. Like, it's such a sheer climb. It's like one step forward, 2 steps back, and they get to play politics like it's a video game on easy mode. And this is just proof of it. Like, if somebody brought this to his attention now, number one, do you think he'd acknowledge it? And number two, if he did acknowledge it, what do you think he'd say?
Reading this article is insane. What the happened to conservatives that they all lost their backbone? It's audience capture 101. This is why I never trust any of these. I don't know. I'll tweet at him and I'll see what he says, because apparently his tweet is still up. So this was written by Matt Walsh in 2016. If I would post something like this today, it would be like this would be like an unhinged leftist article, right? Like, people say you're an unhinged leftist.
Sure.
But I'm sorry, you asked me a question of what would he say today? It would be something like, well, I might have believed that back then, but then I saw how effective Trump did govern, and I saw how woke and crazy the left got, and I realized now that, like, it's more important to unite to fight the people that are trying to trans all the kids than it is to not vote for Trump, I guess. But
speaking of Walsh, I sent you a tweet the other day of his coworker, Ben Shapiro. Did you get a chance to take a look at that?
Which one? Show me.
Here, I'll send to you again. Well, it's me quote tweeting him, but you should see his original tweet. So, it's in response to Kamala's Twitter page talking about how Trump refers to Democrats as the enemy within and all this. And Shapiro responds with, well, Joe Biden did an entire speech from Independence Hall labeling his political opponents enemies of the Republic.
Oh, that speech that I've gone over and over again, where Biden, like a dipshit, like Destiny, like a dumbass, he tries to caveat 15 times. Not all Republicans are like this. Not even most of them. He does this over, and it doesn't matter in that speech. They always take like the one or two things. He says all MAGA Republicans, all the Republicans. Yeah, what a bull. Yeah.
And at no point does he even threaten to deploy the military against him, which is what that's the whole point. Trump has repeatedly said over the past week that Democrats are the enemy within. He name drops Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, and I think even Paul Pelosi too, just as random examples. And you should look at this because it's a stunning example of like true gaslighting. Jake Tapper on CNN has confronted MAGA Republicans about this, Governor Glenn Youngkin of Virginia, and then I think there was... who else did he talk to about this? He talked to somebody else about it. Now I'm blanking on it. And even though Trump is clearly referring to Democrats or his political opponents, they're like, well, I think he was actually talking about like Venezuelan gangs. But at no point has Joe Biden ever threatened to deploy the National Guard and the military against his political opponents, even if you think that some of his rhetoric against MAGA is spicy, which I don't think it is, and I don't think he can defend that proposition particularly well. But it really is frustrating. And I should say, this is still a coin flip election, man. I mean, we talked about it on Sunday, but there's there's a clear path to a Trump victory. And I don't know.
It's insane. One of the things I wish I would have done it this time, but I got so sidetracked with the J6 video and other things. I really wish that I would have implemented something in my community, some tech thing. Okay, I just had to write. I had to take a note. I really wish I would have created something in my community. I need other leftist communities though to collaborate with me to track like the percentage of people who could sign up to like vote or whatever. Because I think it would be fun, assuming that these people weren't all toxic, degenerate losers. It would be fun to go to like Hassan and Vosh and say, hey, like my community is more committed than your community. Like we're going to take, 5,000 people from each and we're going to measure like the percentage that votes. And I bet my community will have the highest percentage of the three. And we could even like bet, like cringe like whoever loses is to shave their head or something dumb as a way to like get people to vote and to try to like find ways to verify it in government or state database or something. I feel like an effort like that could be a lot of fun. It would be competitive and yeah.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.